Welcome back to Wheels of Will. This is your host Umang Bafna, and in today's episode, we are immensely honored and proud to have a true warrior with us. A lieutenant colonel from the Indian Army who isn't just a soldier but also a para archer champion. Life threw a major twist at him when he was left paraplegic by a tragedy, but his spirit was unbreakable as his military training. Thereafter, he found a new battlefield for himself, that is the archery range. His dedication has earned him recognition on the national stage by winning both silver and bronze medals in para archery. But his achievements don't stop there. He has represented India at the World Para Archery Championship in Beijing in China 2017. So let's welcome our today's guest, who has served in olive green with immense pride. But destiny's will shifted his tide. He has an arrow of hope with victory signed. The champion Sahil Gautam arrives with a winning might. A very warm welcome, Lieutenant Colonel Sahil Gautam sir, to my podcast. A moment of pride to have you here.
Thank you so much, Umang, and it's an honor to be on your podcast. The work that you're doing, this podcast, the lives that you are projecting to the people, the disabled and para athletes, it's tremendous and all the best to you. And it's an honor to be on your show.
Thank you so much, sir. So, to begin with, please introduce yourself and share a bit about your background with our listeners.
I belong to Haryana from a very simple family. I am first generation army officer. I was commissioned in 2009. After that, I was just going on a normal path of career. And then life took a turn for me. And here I am sitting with you. And we would go through my life and the journey that I had.
Definitely, sir. I would love to discuss about your journey. But before that, can you tell me how did you discover that yes, archery is my sport? I will play that, seeing your tragedy in 2013.
Umang, I got admitted in a hospital because of road accident which led to spinal cord injury in 2013. I was there for about 3 years. I was trying to recover, but maybe my injury was so severe that I was not able to recover. And life in a hospital gets very gloomy. The prospects and the things, even if they are positive, they don't look positive to you. I had to do something with my life, to make it a little more interesting, to give myself something I look at and something which returns positivity to me, if nothing else. So, archery happened. It was a way out for me from the normal mundane life of the hospital, and it turned out to be an amazing thing.
Yes, definitely. We can say that archery was the best thing that could have happened to you. But whenever we talk about archery, we talk about Arjuna the Great, who was among the world's finest archer. But Arjuna was because of his guru Dronacharya, who taught him everything about archery. Likewise, who was the guru Dron in Sahil sir's life?
I would say that I've had the honor of training with some really good coaches, and my mentor, Colonel Gaurav Datta, who is now retired, he is the one who picked me up while I was in the hospital. He showed me the way. He literally held my hand and told me what I am supposed to do with my life. And yes, I've had really good coaches who made me what I am today.
Yes, definitely. A athlete is incomplete without his coach. Now, talking about Colonel Gaurav Datta, he was the one who introduced you to para archery. So, after this introduction, how did it bring a change in your life?
So, Colonel Datta is a amputee himself of Operation Parakram. He has been a triathlon player. He's been a medalist in many other events which involve disabled people. And while I was in the hospital, he was scouting for talent, or he was scouting for people who could be a part of Army Paralympic node. And he just walked into my hospital room one day. We interacted for a while. We hit it off instantly. And he just told me that, you just cannot keep getting rotten here in the hospital bed. You are young. You have been a sportsman all your life. You have to get out and do something with your life. Just pick up any sport and I will make it happen for you. And we will walk the path and we'll achieve wonders. And we did the same. He's been a mentor to me. He's been guiding me at every turn. And I'm eternally grateful to him for what he has done to me.
That's really fantastic, sir. So, we can say that Colonel Gaurav Datta is your Dronacharya.
He is actually the Guru Drone. And yes, yeah, you're right. He is Guru Drone for me.
Now, I have a small surprise for you, Sahil sir. Colonel Gaurav Datta is connecting with us on a call. Hello, Gaurav sir. Welcome to Wheels of Will.
Hi, Umang. It is a pleasure to be with you.
Okay, sir. After seeing Sahil sir's disability, what made you think to introduce para archery to him?
See, Umang, when I met Sahil in the spinal cord injury center at Kharki, MH Kharki, I realized that here was a person who was wasting away but wanted to do a lot. He had that go in him. Having spoken to him couple of times, I felt that his injury and the paraplegia has not really taken the sails out of his boat. And though the situation is such that he is not being able to do anything, for the simple reason there was no opportunity given to him. And archery being a sport, para archery specifically, where wheelchair users can also compete at the highest level, and it was also locally available at the Army Sports Institute, Pune. So we decided together. I will not say that I introduced him alone. It was his spirit and his willingness, due to which I was also encouraged to take him to the shooting range, and the results you have seen. And he excelled at para archery, and very soon, within a matter of 6 months, he was representing the country at the international stage.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome, Aman. All the best.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, Sahil sir, how was the surprise for you?
Oh, thank you so much. You made me speak to Guru Dronacharya.
We are really glad that you found your Guru drone. Now, coming back to archery, when you actually started playing it, you might have known your strengths, weaknesses, and also the challenges that you encountered. So, can you tell us about the challenges that you faced when you started playing archery?
Umang, after somebody comes on a wheelchair, the life changes instantly. You are no longer the same person who could use his legs to go from place A to place B. You are always confined on a wheelchair. You lose a lot of strength, not only your legs, your upper body strength also suffers. After being in hospital for about 3 years, when you decide one day that you have to pick up a para sport, which is upper body strength intensive. So it does take a little effort because you have to first train your body to get used to it. And I was the first para archer from the services, from the army. And there was nobody else in the whole hospital who had attempted any sport before me. So, I was actually charting the whole path on my own. And the coaches that I met, they had to find out ways and means as to how to make me comfortable at the same time shooting my bow. There was no other para archer around who could tell me how to do things. And yes, and mentally, when you are coming out from such a severe trauma in your life, you again, you create a hope in your mind, maybe that this thing will turn things around. It actually did turn life around for me. And yeah, so
Archery was a boon for you.
yes, it was a boon. It was really a boon. It was a vardhan which the Arjun got.
Brahmastra in the form of archery.
We can put it that way.
Okay, now moving to representation. You had represented India at the World Para Archery Championship in Beijing, China back in 2017. So, how did it happen and what was the preparation process for the same?
I started para archery in November of 2016, and I represented one of the states in able-bodied championship in March of 2017. That was within 4 months of me starting with archery. And it was an exceptional thing because there was nobody else on a wheelchair who was competing with people who are standing and shooting, and that gave me some confidence that I can do it. Within few months, maybe in June, we had the para archery nationals which took place in Hyderabad. I secured 2 medals there for services. I was the sole para archer who was representing services.
It might have been a very proud feeling.
Yes, it was, and I was, opening the door for so many others who followed the path. And there is a fully fledged para archery team which the army has now. So I won these 2 medals there, and I was second there. And then within a very short period of time, we were all told that there is a team which has to go to China, to Beijing, to represent India at World Para Archery Championships. So I went for the trials. I had no expectations out of me. I had no hopes, or you can say, and it turned out really well. I secured the first rank there, beat all other people who were doing archery for so long, and I made a place for myself in that team. And then we went there. It was a experience in itself. You go out, you meet these foreign teams, the level of game that they have, the level of life they're living. It was an eye opener because the way disability is perceived in our country, and sorry, it's sometimes seen as a taboo. Yes, it's not. And people think that disabled people cannot do many things. Yes, we can do a lot of things. Maybe we'll do it differently, but we'll do the same thing. And yes, it was a good experience. I stood 33rd out of some 100 participants there.
Yes, sir. But the feeling you might have experienced after representing your country at the global stage, that would have been really fantastic, sir.
Yes, it was a wonderful feeling because you get to wear the same. You get to wear the olive greens and you also wore the Indian jersey. So it was Sone Pe Suhaga.
Definitely a Sone Pe Suhaga moment, sir. Now, moving forward, who is your favorite archer? He can be from ancient or the modern age.
You know, ancient archers, I belong to a place called Kurukshetra, land of Mahabharata.
So, there might be a peace between Arjuna and Karna.
I would go with Arjun because I think that Arjun is the one person I identify with more. In modern archers, if you say, my favorite archers are all the para archers who are there because it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of willpower for somebody to overcome their physical disabilities first and take that decision, make that decision to come out and compete. And para archery, not many people know this, but archery is a very expensive sport. To start with, you need to invest a lot of money.
Definitely, all the para archers around are just incredible. Now, talking about my favorite para archer, who is Sheetal Devi. She is also the world's first female armless para archer.
Yes, you're correct. She's very young. She's just been awarded with the Arjun Award last year, and she's world's first female armless archer. There are two archers before her who are males and they are armless. In fact, Matt Stutzman is from the United States of America and he is the one who has been not only winning medals in Paralympics, he's been a part of the US able bodied archery team and he shoots in the similar way as Sheetal Devi shoots.
Wow, that's really great. The world is really blessed to have such fine para archers. Now, moving ahead with your journey, who has been your biggest motivator in it?
Okay, so I would say that, the biggest motivators for me has been my family, course mates. I'm from NDA. My NDA course, they have stood behind me like a rock. My unit to which I belong to, my organization, which has supported me at every step. I just cannot thank these people enough because if what I am today is because of how these people have held me. There were times when one would not feel very strong. There are good and bad days, there are ups and downs. So I also used to have a lot of ups and downs in life. So these people, my attendant who always takes care of me. So these are the people who have supported me and it's all because of them.
So we can say that you have a team of helping hand behind you.
Yes, there has always been a team of helping hands behind me and they are the ones who have made me almost 90-95% independent today. So thanks to them.
Yes, absolutely. In the journey of life, the role of friends and family is very important. Similarly, what was the contribution of your friends and family in shaping your life's journey?
Family, yes. I have my parents back in Kurukshetra. I've got one sister, and these people, right from the moment I met with my accident, they have been there always. They never made me feel like something bad has happened in my life. They were always like, things will get better. I knew that for them, things have changed drastically. And this is also another plus point that archery brought. That once I started pursuing this path, they felt better. They started feeling much, much better that he's doing something good with his life. And yes, their contribution, the more you speak about it, it's less. You just cannot thank them enough.
It might have been incomplete without them.
Totally. It would have been incomplete without them.
Absolutely. Friends and family are everything. Now, moving forward with your journey in para archery, what all lessons did you learn from it? And what piece of advice would you like to give to our listeners?
So among one of the coaches that I had, his name is Richpal Singh Salaria. He also retired from the army. He always used to tell me that the arrow that you have shot, which is already landed on the target, you cannot do anything about it. Even if it has missed the bullseye, you always have to look forward towards the next arrow. If you keep thinking about the previous arrow, you will also spoil your next arrow. So that has been the biggest lesson that I've had in my life, that accept what has already happened, accept what has gone past. You have to look ahead. You have to make do with the best possible way what you have with you right now. And the message that I would like to send out to all the disabled people or anybody who is listening who is going through something bad is, you may be going through something very severe and everybody's situation is different. But if possible, try to accept what you're going through. It's difficult, I know, it's easier said than done, but trying to accept your situation and difficulties you're going through in life puts all those things in your past and gives you a vision to look in the future and make it happen, make it better, make it happy for yourself and people around you.
That's a really great piece of advice. I think many of our listeners will be benefited out of it. Now, moving forward to another segment of our podcast, that is the this or that round. I'll be asking you questions and you'll have to answer any one option out of the two given. So, let's begin. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Books or movies?
Books any day.
City lights or country stars?
Country stars.
Traditional bow or modern bow?
Traditional bow.
Indoor range or outdoor range?
Outdoor.
Bullseye or moving target?
Bullseye.
Focus on strength or focus on technique?
Focus on technique.
Individual practice or group lesson?
Individual practice.
Early morning practice or evening practice?
Evening practice.
Greatest archer according to you, Karna or Arjuna?
Arjun.
Representing at Paralympics or representing at Archery World Cup?
Representing at Paralympics.
Thank you, sir. You have given some fantastic answers. Also, while answering one of the question, you mentioned about bullseye. So, can you explain us what actually bullseye is?
So bullseye, so archery target has, I shoot a compound bow and there are 6 rings in the compound bow target. The innermost 2 rings are 10 and 9. They are golden in color. The outer 2 rings are red in color. They are 8 and 7. And the outermost 2, that are 6 and 5, they are blue in color. So the innermost ring, 10, actually, sometimes what happens is there are 2 different archers who have shot a equal score. So it'll be difficult later on to, judge who is the best one among them. So the World Archery Association, they have come up with a solution that inside the 10 ring, there is a X or there is a bullseye. So then they count the number of arrows which have hit the bullseye. So if let's say Umang and Sahil have shot the same score, so the winner will be decided on the number of bullseye one who has hit.
So, it becomes a deciding factor of the match.
It becomes the deciding factor if there is a tie among 2 players.
Thanks for letting us know about the bullseye thing. Now, moving forward, how do you pass your free time? What kind of hobbies do you pursue?
So I try and keep myself very busy. I have my office routine in the morning. In my free times, I try and pick up any book. I read a lot of books. I basically read non-fiction. I am a aero modeler. I make wooden models of aeroplanes, fighters. I sometimes listen to some music.
What kind of music, sir?
I listen to Hindi songs, old Hindi songs or 90s. Yeah, retros. And I love driving. I have my car, which is an adapted vehicle, and I drive around.
Go out and take a long drive, maybe.
Yes, you take a long drive, and now it is possible for disabled people to drive. And if somebody is listening, some disabled person is listening, and they've been always thinking of getting a car or thinking that how will they drive it. It is very much possible, and I recommend it to anyone who wants a peace of mind in their life. Maybe not in Pune's traffic.
Driving in Pune's traffic is very difficult. So, now looking ahead, what are your aspirations and goals for the future?
Among any athlete or any para athlete always has one singular aim in his life, and it has always been the same for me as well. It has been to be on the podium wearing a India jersey at the Paralympics, standing on the gold medal podium, and the national anthem is being played and seeing the tricolor rising. There's nothing more a athlete or a sportsman can ask for in life.
I wish we get to see that very soon.
Yes.
Sahil Gautam sir will be awarded the gold medal in Paralympics.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Umang.
With this, we have come to the end of our today's episode. Thank you so much, Sahil sir, for sharing your incredible journey with us. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much, Umang. It was an honor.
As we conclude today's episode, let's celebrate Sahil sir's incredible journey in the field of para archery. His path explains us that discipline and perseverance are just the arrows in our life's quest. His journey reminds us that challenges are just like a strong crosswind that can overcome with the right mindset. As Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So, until next time, keep chasing your passions and never let the obstacles hold your back. With this, we have come to the end of season 1 of our podcast. Stay inspired and we'll see you soon in the next season. Till then, like, share, and keep listening to Wheels of Will.